Hey guys, it's Cobalt here, and welcome back to another video. As you can see behind me, I have even more G7 Wave 2 LPS, and I'm very excited to open these up with you guys. All these LPS were generously sent to me by the people over at BasicFun, and I have 2 of the Pet Trio tubes and 3 blind boxes. So since I've already opened a few of the Series 2 blind boxes on my channel, I figured this is probably the best way to start off this video. If you're unfamiliar with how the Wave 2 blind boxes look like, here are all the pets you can collect on the back. I won't go super into detail, but if you want to learn more, you can go watch one of my previous videos that I've done on these. Alright, here is pet number 1, and it is the purple Lucky Cat. I actually have this one already, but I do think that she's really cute, and it's definitely one of the Wave 2 pets that surprised me. She's a lot cuter in real life, and definitely one of my favorites from the blind box series. Here's what her card looks like, along with the code that you guys can use in the Roblox game. By the time you're watching this video, the codes should actually be working now. On to box number 2. Oh, okay. So the accessory that came with this one is a pile of snowballs, and I have not gotten this yet, which means that this is a new LPS. Okay, we got the Pomeranian. The printing here on the gradient on the bottom of her head is not good at all, but if you're just looking at her face, it actually looks pretty nice, and the eyes are a little bit grainy. The pets with the gradients on their face generally do have grainier eyes, just with the way that the gradient is printed, but I think this is another one that I actually like a lot more in person, because some of the early photos of this one were pretty bad, but I think she's actually kind of cute. I really do like this orange color. I think this is a really nice color on her, and the yellow gradient does look good as well. I'm just not a big fan of the black snowflakes. I think black is kind of a strange color and muddies up the design a little bit in my opinion. If we were going to keep the snowflakes, maybe a blue color would be nice, and I think brightening up her eyes would be a little bit cuter as well. But overall, I am happy to have this pet. And once again, here is what her card looks like. I actually think the picture in this card is really cute. And since I have not gotten this one, she is number 77, Chilius level 1 and core. Now on to the final blind box. And finally, we have another pet that I do actually already have. Again, I do really like this one. It has a very unique color, and even if I do have this one already, I think a donkey is going to be a very cute base for a custom, because I have never customized a donkey LPS before. And once again, here is what their card and code look like. But now let's move on to looking at the tubes, because that is definitely the portion of this video that I am most excited for. So here are what the tubes look like. As you can see, both of them come with 3 pets, and this time around they also come with 3 accessories. And here's what the back looks like. This wave also only has 2 Pet Trio tubes, as you can see by the pictures on the back. Here's the tube that I will be starting off with. This is definitely one of the ones that I am most excited for, and the little baboon down at the bottom is one of my favorite LPS from Wave 2, so I'm super excited for this one, and this one is called the Zoo Pets. First up, we have the card and the coin, and I'm really happy to see that the baboon is the one on the card because, like I said, he's definitely my favorite. He is number 98, sassiest level 2 and exotic. As for accessories, we have this little bag of food, this plant, again, one of my favorite accessories, and this little food bowl. All of these are repeat accessories, but I'm really happy to see that this set now comes with 3 because I think that it's cool that each pet gets their own little accessory instead of just the tube coming with only 1. And now for the pets, here are all of them. I think that all of the molds that were chosen are super cohesive, especially if this is supposed to be a zoo series. So I'm actually going to start off with the donkey here because I think that this is probably the one that most people have mixed opinions on. I think it's really cute, and legitimately I think that using a donkey base for a zebra is actually genius. It looks so much better than a horse base, and I really do love this one. Although something that I of course do have to point out is that the head to body coloration is pretty different. It's honestly not as bad as the dog from series 1 of course, and I'm not sure why, but I feel like the pandas from series 1 didn't really have this bad of coloration either, but all the other white pets do seem to have this problem, which is kind of unfortunate. But I feel like the contrast of the black and white and all the different stripe patterns do really help make it a little bit less noticeable on this donkey. So here's this one's little personality pattern here on the side. It's sort of like a shooting star, which a few other pets in Wave 2 have. I think it's kind of cute, but also, you know, I do personally like the side without it a little bit better. I think that it's also kind of strange that these stripes are pointing in a different direction coloration on its face than the ones on the body, and that the stripes on the back of the head are a lot thicker. But again, I do still think that it works, and I think that its purple eyes are really, really cool. But my other biggest gripe with this pet is that I definitely think the hooves should be painted, and that's another problem with G7, is that a lot of the hooved animals do not actually have their hooves painted on. Next up, we have the Jaguar base, although this one is definitely intended to be a lioness, and I think that she is absolutely beautiful. I love this one so much, and there are really no complaints from me. Although, of course, if we took away the personality mark, I do think that she would also look really cute, and I think painting her teeth would be cute as well, and even if the paws were a darker brown. This one, though, is actually a pretty close replica to a Generation 2 LPS that I will put on the screen now, even down to the little personality mark on the head, which is kind of interesting. It's a different shape, but it even still matches the color and the placement, so I'd say that aspect of it makes me like it a little bit more, especially since the Generation 2 version is a pet that I've always wanted, so having it now in G7 is really, really cool. And finally, we have the baboon. This one is also a little bit of a recreation to the original one. I do own that one, but I'll just put a photo of it on screen now. As you can see, the colors are similar, although this one is a much lighter color palette than the other one, and of course he does have the little stars on the cheeks, which I really, really like. The Generation 2 baboon is one that I have always wanted, and I'm actually lucky enough to have gotten it a couple months ago, but seeing him return in G7 is really, really awesome, and I think that it's fun that he even has a little metallic details again. Before we move on to the final tube, I want to show you something that you can actually do to recycle your old pet tube. So this is one that I have from Series 1, and I basically taken out the inside portion that holds the pets, and it gives you this little slit on the top, so you can store all of your coins inside there, or anything that you want, which I think is pretty cool. You could also fill it with LPS or mini LPS or accessories, but I think putting all the coins in there is definitely a really cool idea. Alright, so now it is time to open the final set for today's video, and this is the Park Pets Pet Trio. Once again, here's the card and the coin we got, and it is a card of the bunny, who's actually number 100, which is pretty cool, and he is a Hungriest level 2 core pet. As for accessories, we got some apples, we got a purple drink, and we got a bucket of peanuts. Now onto the pets. I'm going to start off with the bunny here because, again, he has the same problem as the zebra, where the head is a very bright white and the body is more of a yellowish off-white. Although, comparing it to the zebra, he is definitely a lot worse, and you can really, really see that on camera, so I'm not really sure what the issue is here, and I would say this one is probably on par with how bad the dog is from Series 1, but besides that, I think that he's really cute, so having that discoloration is pretty unfortunate. His printing isn't bad either, although this ear here is a little bit messed up looking with the pink part on the inside, and you can't really see it, but he has this weird little black line here above his little symbols. And something that's also really interesting about this LPS is that he is also sort of a reproduction of a pet from G2, but the pet that he is based off of is a magic motion pet. So I think it's kind of cool that they're using designs from those LPS for these new ones as well. And I'm noticing now that his black ear is sort of messed up at the base as well. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? I'm not a huge fan of the bunnies anyways, so it's not like a huge deal for me. But anyways, let's take a look at the woodpecker next. Here he is right off the bat. This one does have a little bit of misprinting in the eye, whereas you can see it's a little bit higher up than it should be on this side. This eye looks pretty good though, and the eyes definitely look a lot better than the blind boxed woodpecker that I got. If you saw my video where I unboxed that one, his eyes looked very flat, but these ones definitely have more of the proper shape to them. There's also a little bit of missing paint here on the base of his beak, and the way that the feet are painted is very strange as well. I wish that the bottom of them was painted yellow instead of just leaving it purple, and same with the wings. The back side of the wings are not painted, whereas the front side is, and I feel like I haven't seen that issue on too many other pets, so it's just a little bit unfortunate that this one is painted in that way, because I actually really like this one's design and think he's super cute. And this is another instance where I do actually really like the vibrant colors of him. I think that the vibrancy works really well for bird LPS, and I actually really like the way that the symbol is placed on this one as well, and I think that it is fine having it on one side, and it's not really cluttering or distracting. So overall, I do like this pet, and I'm happy to have it in my collection, but there's just a few things about its manufacturing, I suppose, that I would end up changing. But now let's take a look at the final pet for this set and the final pet of the video. And this is, again, my favorite from this tube set. And I'm very, very excited to see that we now have another triplet squirrel. So in G2, they made a couple of triplet sets, and one of them was 3 little squirrel triplets that I will put on the screen right now. I believe this one is probably sort of a remake of one of them, and I know another one will be coming later in Wave 2, which I'm very excited about, because I think that this base is absolutely adorable, and it's one of the pets that I never had a chance to own from the previous generation. His head is massive though, and his eyes are just giant. I think that he looks so silly and absolutely adorable. And then once again, speaking from a customizer standpoint, I think the body is super, super cute, and I love the tail. So I can definitely see a lot of people cutting this tail off and gluing it onto other bases to make a custom, or just doing a head swap with this body in particular. It's adorable. It's definitely the best painted one from this set, and I also appreciated that the paw pads are painted, because we've gotten quite a few that don't have their painted paws, even though it's part of the mold. So seeing it on this one is really cute as well. And for all of the viewers out there who are not a huge fan of the brightly colored LPS, I think that this one is a really, really great example of a nice neutral tone that is still appealing and eye-catching, but we still have the much softer sort of pastel, almost slightly gray toned colors with these really cool, I guess, dusty pinks. And I think that it also makes the eyes stand out super well, and obviously I love the color of the eyes. They look really, really awesome. And there you have it, guys. Those are all of the pets that I unboxed in today's video. Once again, huge thank you to BasicFun for sending me all these pets to review. You can find the tube sets and blind boxes at Target, but I will also put links to where you can find them on other sites such as Amazon, Meijer, and Walmart. And of course, as always, let me know which of the pets featured in this video was your favorite, and which of the pets from Wave 2 you are most excited to add to your collection. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!